Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Thursday. It is May 3rd, 2012. You guys know yesterday I did a longer-term analysis of Europe's markets, and if you want to see that, you can check out yesterday. As I told you in that video, I would be doing a longer-term analysis today on the U.S. market. So let's get started. I also have one extra chart that I'm going to do at the end of this for a friend of ours, so check that out for them in a moment. Right now, I want to look at the NASDAQ, and as you guys know, I'm already bearish on the markets at these levels. I have been all week long. We saw some selling today in the markets. Basically, that's just kind of a defensive selling there ahead of the unemployment data or the jobs data is going to come out on Friday morning. So that's why you're seeing the sell-off today. But it's a bigger picture here. I still am overly bearish in the situation. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to go into great detail why I'm bearish. You guys know that already. You've seen the videos earlier that we posted this week. But I am going to show you a different perspective here. It may make a little more sense to some people. Okay. What we're showing right now is basically a 2-year chart. Each one of these candlesticks represents a single week of price activity, and this is the NASDAQ. So when you're looking at this chart, know that this is not a single day's. This is not 1 day's candlestick. This is actually a week's formation here. Also, you're going to notice it's like I said, it's 2 years. But I've drawn my trend line back from the previous peak that was over here. You really can't see it on this chart, but it's back here a little bit. Off of that high point, off of this high point, you can see that we've basically found resistance on that channel here. So whenever you're looking at this, and if you say, okay, Christian, I disagree with your analysis that the market's it's time to sell it or whatever, if you're telling people in this market or you've been told in this market you should be buying, then look at this channel and ask yourself why. Why would you buy at this particular point in time? What you can see here is this is our resistance line, and then we simply take it and we find our support line, which we have support back here as well, and then basically came close to it here, here we bounced off of it, here we bounced off of it, came close to it here, again here. All of this is support, and this is your resistance. So why would you buy here with this much gain potential and this much risk potential? You wouldn't. That would be poor investing, right? Right. Poor trading as well. So what you would do instead is look for a short opportunity at this range or higher. In this range here, I want to look for shorting opportunities. It would make sense to me for other reasons, but I'll show them to you in a moment. And then if I'm shorting here, this is my risk right here, between here and here, and this is my gain potential, and if we break down we get much more. Okay, so obviously that's why I'm bearish. It makes more sense in that overall trend channel as well. Let me show you a couple other things I can see on this chart. Right off the bat, you can see that we have a major gap down here and here. Okay, this is something that's important, going way over here, and then you've got these two major shooting star formations. Whenever you're getting a shooting star formation, it's telling you there's resistance up there, and that's stronger than buy pressure. That's why they can't press any higher. That's why they get a sell-off. That's why there's a needle out of the top of a candlestick. Those things are very important to you. When you see them, you should take note that there is resistance there. So taking a short position here with a tight stop set here, well, that's even smarter than taking a stop way up here, right? Okay. Another thing is you can see here, you can look at this high point here. You note the current high point, the close of the candlesticks are higher than they were back here. That's trending up. Looks all bullish. However, like we've already stated, that's a non-sustainable or unsustainable rally to the upside because there's a bearish divergence in play. You go to the same time period, look at the high point of the momentum on the ultimate oscillator, and the high point here, she's trending down, not up. So you have another situation where you have a bearish divergence forming, and this is going to end up being erased. Now let's have a look here at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You can see that this particular week's candlestick right here looks like a shooting star formation. However, before we can call that, we have to wait for the end of the week because this candlestick is actually still forming. So it's a little early to say that that is in fact a shooting star formation right now. It looks like it, but it's not formed, completed yet. So we're going to look at this in different ways. First off, you'll notice that I've overlaid the MACD moving averages here on this particular chart. And you can see whenever they come around and they cross in this fashion, you get a move to the upside. They cross in this fashion, the black line below the red line, you get a move in the other direction. So when you're crossing back this way, what do you think is going to happen? Well, obviously you know what's going to happen. She's going to sell off. So that's a pretty easy call there. You have to wait, of course, till she peaks out somewhere so you can have at some point to draw a stop loss limit at. Right now you don't have that, so shorting at this point with a stop right here is going to be really difficult. You're trying to call the exact peak, and that's very difficult to do. So I'd wait for it to start sell off before you try jumping on that one just yet. Another thing you can notice, high point here, higher high here. Looking at the closes, of course, you can see we're trending up. And let's look at the ultimate oscillator. Is it confirming it. The question you want to ask yourself every single time you're rallying like that is it being confirmed? And we can see right now it is not. It's telling you there's a bearish divergence, meaning that all of this rally will collapse. Another way to draw this on this chart and show another scenario here. Again, I'm not trying to draw them bullish or bearish. I just draw what I see. What I see right here is you get low points about here, you get another one here. You can see that we have this nice little up channel here, which you would have been able to play that to the long side until that trend broke down. But you'll also notice if you draw one on the top, what are you looking at? Well, you're looking at a rising wedge. Rising wedge are not bullish, they're bearish. You stay in here and you trade along in this scenario, but whenever she closes below that, then you get bearish. And you say, okay, no longer going to be bullish this market. She's got a pullback coming. So every sign you look at in this market is telling you the exact same thing. Get out. The SPX, or the S&P 500 Large Cap Index, the same overall story that I've just shown you and drawn out on the charts for you on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. However, this one's actually a little bit more bearish, and I've already taken a short position. We talked about that. I actually updated the chart yesterday on our free website at perfectstockalert.com. All of our charts are kept there and updated every single night, so you can see whenever I enter a position or advance a stop loss and so forth and so on. So they're there for you to look at. But the main thing I want to show you here is the same basic pattern is formed here. You've got the same rising wedge formation here, which is a bearish signal. And once you close below that, which we've already done, and now you're seeing, let me clean that up, you can see that we have already had a shooting star formation here calling the top, and then you get another one here, and it's lower than the previous one. That says that much more confirmation. There is in fact a sell pressure here. Now, one caveat here I have to point out, this most recent candlestick formation hasn't finished forming yet because it's not Friday's close. On Friday's close, you'll know whether or not that is truly going to be a shooting star formation or not. But right now, I would be willing to take a short position there with the stop set off of this high. This is my risk. This is my gain potential. I'm loving that trade. The Russell 2000 Small Cap Index, this one basic same overall short-term story with the low points. You can draw your trend line there. You can see you get the rising wedge formation again. Once you close below that, which you actually did right there, you want to get out of the long position. Remember, you draw your high points there. You can see that you just rise in that wedge until you ultimately break down, and that's what's happening now. But on the more current time frame, you can see that we don't have, this particular candlestick is not a shooting star formation, but it is a lower high than the previous where we did see a shooting star formation. But more importantly, and I am short this at this current time, more importantly, this high point here is lower than this one. So this is actually a weaker chart than the other ones I've already shown you. So the longer term picture and the shorter term picture all say the same thing. Don't be long this particular market. And that's also an important thing to note whenever you look at the ultimate oscillator here, or the slow stodge, or whatever you're using, full stodge, RSI, etc. You'll notice the high point here on the ultimate oscillator indicating in this time period here with this high here, and then a higher high here, yet we get a lower high down here on price. So we're trending down here and up here. Whenever you see that, that's another bearish divergence, not the same type of course, but it is one of four, and two of them are bearish, and this is another bearish one. So if there's anything in this video that I'm discussing, or any of the videos I discuss, that you don't understand, you can go to our free website at perfectstockalert.com. We've got a whole tutorial library there and video showing you everything you need to know about technical analysis to effectively use it. Okay, so you can know everything that I know. You don't just need me to actually do this for you. You can educate yourself, right? All right, I got one more chart that I want to look at for some friends of ours. Let me go there right quick. Okay, the guys over there at tspcenter.com, they're huge supporters of perfectstockalert.com. They share our videos with their users all the time. Really good guys over here, and if you guys get a chance to check them out, if you're if you're a federal employee and you have a thrift savings plan, you know, check these guys out. They're really up and up guys, and I really appreciate them sharing our videos online and not actually asking us for anything. You know, they're just good people, you know, trying to help other people, and it's all free. So really cool people. They asked me, one of the guys, Wolverine is actually the username he uses on our website, but he's also over here at the TSP Center. He asked me to check out a particular chart that they monitor there, so I'm going to do that for them tonight. And thank you guys for your support. Let me show you guys what I can see on your chart. Okay, looking at the Wilshire 4500 of the EMW, what I'm going to be showing you on this chart is just basically one way to review it. And it's a good question. They wanted to know which direction is she going to go. And this is a situation on the chart where you'd be asking that question because you don't know. There's different ways to draw it out. Let me show you first what you've got. This is going back several months, so you can see that you could have a first shoulder formation, a higher high here, given the head formation, and then another shoulder formation, basically peaking out about the same level you saw before. They don't have to peak at the exact same level, but it helps confirm it when they do see like that. And you could draw a low point off at this point here, and here being the neckline. When you close below that, you're confirming that. You'd be confirming that head and shoulders top formation. You'd simply take this high point down to the neckline, measure that distance out mathematically, and then subtract that from the breakout point and give an idea how low you're going to fall, which would make sense because that's at about the area that you had resistance before, so you should expect to find support at that level, at least initially. So that's what you could draw that out, and it would make sense to me to draw it like that. I don't know what you guys are thinking about it, but that's what the first thing that jumped out at my attention there. One of the other reasons that I see that is probably a likely scenario is because you've got this shooting star formation here and then another one here. This is showing that there is sell pressure, major sell pressure, and it's telling you to look for a sell-off here. So that would be concerning for me. Also, looking at the 50-day moving average, whenever you're finding support at the 50, you're in a bullish scenario, a bullish uptrend. When you find support, it continues to be a buy opportunity on that 50-day moving average. When you close below it, something's happening, something's starting to change, and you need to take note of it, at least be cautious and defensive. But regardless of my analysis here, it could still be argued that no, she's actually just moving sideways here, and we're going to eventually break to the upside. Well, you'd have to be a soothsayer to figure that out, because when you're in a channel like this, moving sideways, nobody can tell you the direction it's actually going to break in. They can give you projections or reasons that they believe this or that will happen, but in reality, they don't know until it happens. Now, you could fundamentally get some ideas if you say, okay, well, we have really good news that's going to be coming out pretty soon. That's going to give you a breakout to the upside. But without that, you, again, have no way to tell which direction she's going to break in. So what you would do instead is say, all right, this is the channel we've been moving in for the past couple of months. What I would be doing, of course, is be a buyer off of the support lines here, and then be a seller off the resistance lines here. And then, of course, if you got up there again, you would sell it again. So that's the way you would trade that. Right now, if anyone's telling you to be a buyer at this point, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Here's your gain potential. Here's your risk potential. It doesn't mathematically make sense, okay? So that's what I see on that chart. Thank you guys for your support. I hope I was helpful to you. If you've not been to our free website at perfectstockalert.com, it is right there. It's 100% free, and all we ask in return, please refer a friend, aka share our videos online. Also, if there's anybody else out there, I know there's several of you guys out there that share our videos on your websites. If you guys want me to look at a certain chart for you, man, just send me a chart or an email, and I'll do my best to help you out, okay? It does make my videos a little bit longer, but I like to help out those who are helping us, okay? God bless, take care, enjoy your evening, and I will see you all tomorrow. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.